first day of spring has come, and we have come along with it. So good to arrive in this new season, new beginnings. So let's begin by seated on our mats, finding alignment through the spine as we sit on our sits bones and really connecting with earth energy, this vibrant season of new beginnings, vitality, the rising up of the earth energy into all that sustains life, coming of all the new birthing of insects and all manners of life come forth in the spring. So I invite you to close your eyes and really settle in. And as you do, let the outer world drop away. And feel the inner world of your own being. Connect with your breath. Really feel the inhalation and the exhalation. Sit with your breath and practice perhaps constricting the back of your throat just enough to create that ocean sound that is the Ujjayi breath. The breath of victory that can be so helpful in all manners of balance, health, well-being, inner peace. Begin to slow the breath down, finding a longer exhalation. And as you slow down and feel grounded, begin to visualize roots growing from your sits bones down into the earth. Your tailbone like a taproot extending deep into the earth. And then drawing energy up your spine. Stay with your breath as you lift through the crown of your head, connecting with the sky. On this vernal equinox, this day when the night and the day are equal in their extent. The balance of the light and the dark. Relax your jaw, relax your face, relax your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Lift your heart. And feel your shoulder blades as they draw down your back. Take a few more breaths like this. And as you quiet your mind, look within and see if there is an intention for this season, an intention for the spring, an intention for these new beginning times. Let it percolate from deep within, arising to the surface. Taking it into your heart. And as we sit this morning for a few moments of meditation, rather than metta, let's practice some sweet breath work, breathing in love, breathing out peace. Breathing in gratitude and breathing out love. Breathing in love and breathing out peace. Breathing in gratitude. And breathing out love. Let's practice in this way for a few more rounds of breath, just silently within yourself. See if you can listen to the ocean sound of your own breath. Quieting the mind in preparation for practice. And 2 more rounds of breath in this way. Perfect. And then please bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And let's join together in chanting one Om to begin our practice, our yoga practice. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Another one like that. And let it go too. And inhale and let's begin. Om. Wonderful. And then release your hands to your legs. Let your eyelids lift and the clarity of vision return with ease. And let's come to our mats in child's pose. Keep your blankets nearby and maybe a couple of blocks as well. We will be using blocks in our practice. Let's just bring them to the top of the mat. Although we will be sitting in hero's pose for a few breaths. So if you like to sit on a block for that, or even 2 blocks, it might be beneficial for you. But we'll begin in child's pose. Bringing your big toes together, knees hip-width distance apart. Sit back and lengthen your spine and take a breath in, grow long through the crown of your head, and then draw the belly in as you lengthen over your thighs, over the earth, walking your hands overhead. And you may use the block if you like, placing it right under your forehead. Perhaps you'd enjoy rolling your head back and forth on your forehead. This can be really nice for allergies. And pressing into the fingertips and the spaces behind the fingers, the pads behind the fingers. Keep your arms and wrists elevated up off the mat. Breathe into the back body, a nice 3-part breath, starting in the sacral area, the lower back, and then breathing up into the space at the base of your rib cage where the kidneys live. And then bringing that breath all the way up to the top of your rib cage. And as you exhale, exhale in the same way, out through the top, then the middle, and the lower back. And take a few cycles like this, and you can still use your Ujjayi breath. And maybe as you breathe, your spine begins to extend and warm up. You might remove the block and see how you're doing now. Perhaps your head reaches the mat. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And on your next inhalation, please walk your hands to the right. Lift your hips for a moment to extend the side body stretch. Set your hips back down. And breathe into the side body. All the way from the armpit, the ribs, the lung, the side waist, the hip. Relax your face. Stay with your breath. One more breath cycle on this side. And on your next inhalation, please walk your hands back to center. Notice where you are now. On your next inhalation, walk your hands to the left. Once you've arrived, lift your hips, set them back down. Breathe into the side body, all the way from the armpit, the ribs and the lung, the side waist, and down into the hip. One more breath cycle here. And on your next inhalation, please walk your hands back to center. Again, just noticing any shifts or changes as you breathe. And then please bring your hands right under your shoulders, spread your fingers wide, and sit up in Virasana. You can bring that block right under your hips and set it on whatever height works best for you. It might be on the tall sitting, whatever's best in your body. And then we're going to take the hands behind us and clasp them, intertwining the fingers, and press down, opening through the space of the pectorals, the scalenes, the collarbones. Stay here for a few breaths, really pressing through the backs of the hands. And then release the hands, please, and take the knees wide. You can remove the block as we move down into a wide child's pose. Press the fingertips into the mat overhead. Draw the shoulder blades down towards the hips, away from the ears. You can claw those fingertips into the mat, creating muscle energy through the arms as you breathe. And on your next inhalation, send your right arm out to the side and then scoop it under. Come into a twist. Tent the palm of your left hand, so you're lifting the palm. Continue to draw that shoulder blade down towards your hips. Muscle energy in that extended arm. Soft face, soft eyes. Stay with that Ujjayi breath best you're able. Couple more breath cycles on this side. And on your next breath in, use your left hand to help press up and then extend both arms overhead once again in this wide child's pose. Active arms, active hands, soft face. Take a breath in, extend the left arm out to the side and then scoop it under. Turn to look towards the right as you tent your right palm up, pressing just into the fingertips. Breathe here, breathe into the twist. Draw the shoulder blade down and towards your hips. Two more breath cycles here. And then please bring your hands under your shoulders and press up. Carefully lift your knees back to hip width distance. And from here, we will turn our toes under and step up into Uttanasana at the front of our mats. And you can bring your blocks, place them wherever it's best for you in your practice as you gaze for a moment at your feet, sending the second toes straight ahead and the feet right under the hips, the ankles right under the hip sockets. Take your hands to your hips, firm into all four corners of your feet, and use the strength of your legs to lift up and come to Tadasana. Send your arms to either side, palms towards the front of the mat. Lift your toes, press into all four corners of your feet. Lift through your arches. Stay with your breath. Lower your toes, press your feet away from one another. Charge up your legs. Charge up your deep front line. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another, drawing the tips of the shoulder blades especially towards one another. Take a breath in, bring the hands together in Anjali Mudra. Ears stacked over shoulders, stacked over hips, knees and ankles. Take a breath in and press hands. As you exhale, release. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky, reach out through the fingertips. Exhale, hinge at the hips, and you can bend your knees if that's helpful for Uttanasana. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow, legs long or bent. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, head lifts, spine lengthens. Exhale, bow to the legs. Head lifts, bow in. On an inhalation, please bend your knees, frame your feet with your blocks or your hands, and extend your right leg back. Excuse me, let's step forward. I'd like to bend the knees and extend your left foot back. Thank you very much. Stay with your breath here. Press out through that back heel, draw the belly in. Press into all four corners of your front foot and press up. Bring your hands to your knees in high crescent. Maybe you take your arms out to the sides. Maybe you stay here or lift your arms up to the sky. Take a few breaths here. As you exhale, you can bring your hands back to your knee and then lower back down. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower the back knee to the earth and extend the toes behind you. Lift up. Take a look at your front knee. Make sure your ankle foot is under the knee. And either stay right here or bring your arms out to either side. An option to lift the arms up to the sky and perhaps take a back bend, bringing your eyes to gaze at that space where the ceiling and the wall meet. Hug the legs towards one another, building strength and energy through the core and the legs. On an exhalation, lower your arms, find your blocks. Turn your back toes under, and you can walk your blocks back, lifting your front toes up towards the sky. Half Hanumanasana, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Take a few breaths here. On an inhalation, walk your blocks back. Turn your back toes under, they're already there. Press up, lengthen, come back into lunge. On your next inhalation, take your blocks and rotate your feet so you can bring yourself into a nice wide stance on your mat. And then turn your toes out and lower your hips towards the earth, bringing your hands to your legs, to your knees, wherever it feels best in this nice wide squat. And then from here, take your arms out to both sides, firm into both feet, and turn your palms to the sky, hugging your shoulder blades towards one another on your back. On an exhalation, press up, lengthen the legs, and bring the arms up overhead, fingertips touch. Inhale, squat down, bend the knees, open the arms. Exhale, press up. Inhale, lower down. Good. Exhale, press up. Firm the muscles to the bones in the legs. Exhale, lower down, hips lower towards the earth. Excuse me, inhale. Exhale, press up. Inhale, lower. One more time. Exhale, press up. And then bring the hands to Anjali Mudra right in front of your heart. Then bring your hands to your hips. And from here, we'll hinge and come forward. Bring your hands to your blocks. And we'll take the blocks and frame that front foot once again. Turn your back toes towards the mat, lifting the back heel. Take a couple of breaths here in high lunge or runner's lunge. Let's take a twist. You can lean on the block or bring your fingertips to the earth, whatever feels best for you. Take your hand to your hip and keeping the hips lined up with the front of the mat. Twist just the ribs around the spine. Press out through the back heel. Draw that left hip back, right hip forward. Couple breaths here. Option to lift the arm to the sky. Hug the legs towards one another isometrically. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Finding both blocks if you're using blocks. And then stepping forward into Uttanasana once again. Take the arms out to either side and on an inhalation, lift up, fingertips lift overhead. Take your right wrist into your left hand. Take a breath in and press out through the right foot, out through the right palm, and exhale, crescent to the left, sending your hip to the right. On your next inhalation, press into your left foot and rise back up. Switch the hold of your hands. Inhaling, press out through the palm into the left foot. Exhale over to the other side. Your hip can come out to the left. Next breath in, press into your right foot to rise back up and extend the arms, Urdhva Hastasana, reaching out through the fingertips. Exhale, Anjali Mudra, right in front of your heart. Take a look at your feet, make sure they're just under your hip sockets, and we'll take it to the other side. Take a breath in and press hands. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, sweep them up to the sky. Exhale, hinge and bow to the legs. Inhale, head lifts. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Bow to the legs. Inhale, head lifts. Exhale, bow. Inhale, head lifts. Exhale, bow to the legs. One more of these. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, bend your knees and frame your feet with your blocks or hands. And as you exhale, send your right leg back behind you. Take a look at your front knee and ankle. Make sure they're lined up with one another. Press into all four corners of that front foot and press up into a high crescent. Stay here if you like with your hands at your knees, or take your arms out to either side. Option to stay here or lift the arms up to the sky. Crescent pose. Hug the legs towards one another. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, lower your arms down. You can bring them to your knee, and then find your way to your blocks. Extending out through the back heel, take a breath in. And as you exhale, lower your knee to the mat, extending your toes back behind your foot. Do your best not to sickle through that back foot, but keep the foot pointed right behind your ankle. Lift up, stay here, or bring your arms out to either side. Keep hugging the hips so that they're in alignment with the front edge of your mat. Take a breath in and lift the arms up as an option. And if you enjoy the back bend, take the little thoracic back bend, keeping your tailbone drawing down towards the earth. Inhale here. Exhale, lift back up, and then lower your hands back to the blocks. And we'll take half Hanumanasana, half splits, turning the back toes under. Lift your front foot, toes to the sky, extend long through that leg, through the hamstring, the calf. Long through the spine. And then on an inhalation, come back, turning the toes under. We'll press back up. We'll take that twist, and if you like, you can bring your fingertips to the earth, hand to the hip. Organize your hips so that the left and the right hip are aligned with the front edge of your mat best you can. And then twist through the ribs, keeping the hips in alignment best you can. An option to lift the left arm up if that feels good in your body. One more inhalation here. And as you exhale, come back to frame your front foot with your blocks or your hands. And then we're going to take the blocks over to the long edge of the mat. And then turning the toes out. Again, lower the hips to the earth. And bring your hands to rest on your thighs. And we'll take some shoulder stretches, bringing your left shoulder towards your right knee. Nice big stretch here. And then come back up. Exhale, draw the right shoulder towards the left knee. Good. Come back up on an inhalation and exhale, other side. Inhale to rise. Exhale to stretch. Inhale back to center. And then from here, keeping that nice wide squat, bringing your hips towards the earth, take your arms out to either side. Palms to the sky. This time we'll inhale to lift and lengthen the legs. Fingertips touch. Exhale, lower down, palms to the sky. Shoulder blades hugging towards one another. Inhale, lift up. Press into all four corners of both feet. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Lift. Lower. And from here, bring your hands to your hips. Lengthen your legs. Firm into all four corners of both feet and hinging at the hips. Lower down. Find your blocks. Stay long through your spine best you can, and then walk your blocks or your hands back to the front of your mat and find your way back to lunge. Good. From here, we'll lengthen the front leg and bend the back to step up into Uttanasana once again. Firm into all four corners of both feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a breath in and rise up with the strength of your legs. Find Tadasana. Feel the energy in your body. Stack your ears over your shoulders and so forth. Soft face, soft eyes. From here, we're going to practice chair pose. So please make sure that your feet are right under your hip sockets with the toes facing forward. Arms to either side. We'll take a breath in. And firming into all four corners of your feet, bend your knees, send them right out in front of you. Sit back into your chair, draw your belly in, send your arms back behind you. On your next breath in, open your arms up overhead or swing them overhead with a long spine. Exhale, send them back behind you. Good. Inhale, lift and send the arms out overhead. Exhale, the arms come back behind you. Interweave the fingers the unusual way and extend long through the arms. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, fold into Uttanasana, lifting the arms up overhead. And you can remain with your knees bent if that's helpful in your practice. Take the strain out of your lower back, perhaps. Press those arms up to the sky, open through the front body. And then release the hands, let them come back to the earth or your blocks. Lengthen the legs. Press into all four corners of both feet and then sweep the arms out to either side, lifting halfway up. And with the strength of your legs, press into all four corners of your feet. Root to rise. Inhale, fingertips overhead. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Good. From here, we're going to bend the knees and step the left foot back to come into Warrior One. So you want to have your both feet as though they're on railroad tracks. You can bring your hands to your hips and once again, organize your hips so they're best you can in the same plane as the front edge of your mat. Keeping that, make sure your back foot is at a 45-degree angle and send your arms out to your sides. On your next inhalation, lift the arms up in beach ball arms, shoulder blades still living on your back body. Inhale here, Exhale, lower down, arms come to either side, cactus arms, pinkies forward, thumbs back. Inhale, lift, beach ball arms, long legs. Exhale, bend the front knee and lower down. Bring your arms to cactus arms. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down, pinkies forward, thumbs back. From here, stay bent in the front knee and find your hands behind your back. Press into all four corners of both feet, pressing into the knife edge of your back foot. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, lower over your front leg. Lift the arms up behind you. Press out through the backs of your hands. On your next breath in, lift back up. Take another breath here to release the hands, and we'll come into pyramid pose, and maybe you're going to want your blocks right alongside or framing your front foot. Otherwise, you can bring your hands to the mat and breathe here. And as you exhale, come into a lunge. You might need to move your back foot back a bit, and then inhale, lengthen the front leg, and exhale, back to lunge. And again, inhale, pyramid pose. And exhale, lunge. One more time, inhale here. Exhale, pyramid pose. Few breath cycles here. Feel the stretch. Inhale. Exhale, back to lunge. And we're going to step the back foot forward, come to Uttanasana. Bring your hands to your hips, firm into all four corners of both feet. And with the strength of your legs, rise up. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra and take a few breaths here. Take a peek at your feet. Make sure they're right under your hip sockets, and we'll practice again. Inhale, send your arms back behind you, and as you exhale, sit back into your chair pose, knees right out in front. On an inhalation, sweep the arms up overhead, long spine, tailbone drawing towards the earth. Exhale, send the arms back behind you. Draw the belly in. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, send them back behind you. And this time, clasp your hands the other way. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, come into Uttanasana. Long legs or keep them bent, whatever feels best for you in your practice. Reach the arms up high overhead, opening through the front body, opening through the shoulders. Release your hands and let them come to your blocks. Bend your knees. And we'll step the left foot back into lunge pose. Take a few breaths here. Press out through the back foot. And on an inhalation, press into pyramid pose. Long spine, long legs. Do your best to bring your hips into that same line with the front edge of your mat. Press into the outer edge of the back foot, lifting the inner ankle. Remember to breathe. Take a breath in. And exhale, lunge. Make sure you're stacking your front knee right over the ankle. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, press back into pyramid once again. A few breaths here. And then back into lunge. And on your next exhalation, press back, pyramid pose, please. Long spine, long legs. Use your blocks as best suits your practice. On an inhalation, come back to lunge. Couple breaths here. And on an exhalation, press back again, pyramid pose. Long spine, hips lined up with the front edge of your mat best you can. Inhale here, exhale, come back to lunge. Nice long spine. And then we're going to walk the blocks all the way around. And lower down. Bring your hands wherever feels best. You can send your knees out wider than your toes. Keep long through your spine and only go as far forward as your spine in its long length. The expression of a long spine will give for you in this pose. Really helps to turn the heels wider than the toes. If it feels good in your practice, you can bring your arms between your legs and send them back behind you if that feels good. Take a few breaths. Wherever you are is perfect. It looks beautiful. Enjoy your practice. You're doing beautifully. And then wherever you are, bring your hands under your shoulders. Find your blocks once again. Lengthen your spine. Grow long from your tailbone to the crown of your head. And walk your blocks back to frame your front foot. Lunge pose. And we'll step it up into Uttanasana once again. Bring your hands to your hips, draw your belly in, lengthen your spine, and with the strength of your legs, lift up. Come back to standing. Tadasana, hands to either side. Take a few breaths here. And then from here, we're going to step into nice wide stance on the mat and set up for Virabhadrasana 2. Make sure that your front heel bisects the back arch. Press into that outer edge of the back foot and firm the muscles to the bones in the legs. Draw the belly in. Let your tailbone descend As you draw the belly in, the natural inclination is for the tailbone to lower down. You don't need to tuck it. That's an old concept that doesn't serve. Draw your shoulder blades towards one another on your back body, and on an inhalation, lift your arms out to either side. Look out over your right fingertips. With the muscles firm to the bones, take a breath in, and as you exhale, bend the front knee right over the ankle foot. Take a peek at your knee. Make sure that you can see your big toe. Press out through the outer edge of the back foot. Take a few breaths here. And then turn the palms towards the sky and feel your shoulder blades ride down the back body. Inhale, lengthen the leg, lift the arms overhead, firm the muscles to the bones in the legs. Exhale, lower down. Let's take a few more of these. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Grow those side bodies long as you inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Stay here. And from here, we'll reverse it. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, reverse your warrior. Maybe your hand travels down your leg. Maybe it wraps behind you. Whatever feels best for you as you practice. Come back into Virabhadrasana 2. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lower the arms, lengthen the leg, and let's come into a nice wide stance again on your mat, feet paralleling one another. And we'll take the other side. Turn your left foot so the heel bisects the back arch. Hug the muscles to the bones in the legs. Draw the belly in. Lengthen the spine. On your next breath in, send the arms out wide. Hug the triceps to the bones. Inhale. Exhale. Bend into that front knee, stacking the knee just over the ankle. Lift your torso so it's perpendicular to the earth. Hug the muscles to the bones, draw the legs towards one another, and make sure your front knee is just over the ankle foot. Take a few breaths here. And on your next inhalation, turn the palms to face the sky. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower and bend into the front knee. Good. On your next breath in, lift, lengthen, and stretch those side bodies. Exhale, keep the length, lower the arms and bend into the front knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen and lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Long side bodies. Exhale, lower down. And let's reverse the warrior, bringing the left arm up, and the right hand can either take the bind or travel down the leg, whatever feels best in your practice. And you can look towards the earth if that feels good, or up at the sky if that feels good, wherever your gaze feels best in your practice. Breathing as you go. On your next breath in, come back to Virabhadrasana 2. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, lengthen the front leg, lower the arms, and parallel your feet once again. From here, we'll step into Tadasana and come to the front of the mat. But first, let's get our blankets. One or two, as you know what's best for you in your practice. And step right in front of your blanket. And we'll practice first Malasana. So if you enjoy a block under your hips, you might want to bring one right along with you. And then widen your feet to the edges of your mat. Turn your toes out. Take a moment to really arrive here, drawing the belly in, firming into your feet. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, bend your knees and lower your hips towards the earth, bringing your hands to rest on the mat. Maybe a little froggy pose is helpful as you ease your way into your Malasana. Bringing your hands into Anjali Mudra, knees on the inside of the legs. Lengthen your spine, draw your shoulder blades towards one another on your back best you can. Long spine. And then from here, we're going to take our hands to either side and gently sit back on our blanket. You can use your blocks here in Baddha Konasana. Bring your feet together and sit up nice and tall. Either close in if your spine can remain long. And if you find that you're hunching with your legs drawn in, then please take them out a ways until you can lengthen the spine. Wherever that is in your practice in this moment is perfect. It's perfect. Everything is just as it should be. And as we take this first seated pose after our standing practice, take a moment, close your eyes, and tune in to that small, quiet voice within that may have given you a glimpse of your springtime intention, your springtime guidance, what will be your rebirthing into this new season. And you can definitely place blocks under your knees or thighs if that's helpful. Just simply do your best to lengthen the spine, draw the belly in to support the lumbar spine, and do your best to open through the collarbones. Soften your face, draw the ears back. Beautiful. And I'm going to turn to face you, but you can stay just where you are. You can cross your legs or sit however is best for you. As we do at the beginning of practice, and lengthen the spine. And let's take the arms to either side. Turn the thumbs back towards the wall behind you. Take a few breaths here, very simply feeling the length through the arms, through the arm lines, the fascial lines in the arms. Keeping the thumbs back, take a breath in and lift the arms, slowly press up. Stay with your breath, and as you exhale, turn the palms towards the earth and draw the shoulder blades towards one another, pressing down. Inhale up, thumbs back. Exhale, press down. Again, inhale, turn the thumbs back, lift the fingertips overhead. Exhale, flip the palms down and press away, down, down, down. Stay here. We'll take a twist to the right. Take a breath in to lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist and take your right fingertips behind your tailbone. Wrap that right shoulder blade around and back, left hand to the outer edge of your thigh. Take a deep breath in, grow long. Exhale, deepen in, draw the belly in, and perhaps turn to look over your back shoulder. Deep breaths in, long breaths out. And a few more of these. Soften your face. On your next breath in, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, bring yourself back to face forward. Take a breath cycle here. Then inhale to lengthen. Exhale, take the twist to the other side. Left fingertips come back to the mat right behind your tailbone. Draw that shoulder blade all the way around onto your back body best you can. Right hand to the outer thigh. And then again, inhale and exhale to lengthen and draw in. Stay with your breath. Lower your shoulders away from your ears and turn to look over the back shoulder if that feels good in your practice. Two more breath cycles here. Next breath in, grow the spine long. And as you exhale, return to center. Let's take a side bend. Take a moment to grow long through the crown of your head. Draw the belly in and take your arms out to either side. On an inhalation, turn the palm to the sky and lift your right arm up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Do your best to press your right sits bone into the earth as you lengthen out over to the left. Enjoy your breath. Good. Take a breath in, grow the spine long and come back up. Sit up tall, arms out to either side. On an inhalation, lift the left arm up. And as you exhale, side bend over to the right. Do your best to keep your collarbones wide. Press that left sits bone down into the earth as you breathe. Beautiful. Inhale, grow long and come back up. Let's rotate the shoulders, but do it just a bit differently today. Let's do one shoulder at a time. So rotate your right all the way around and then your left all the way around. Right, left, right, left. We'll do a few of these and then we'll pause. And then we'll take it again, but starting with the left. And then go the other way. Same thing, one shoulder at a time. Pause and start with the other shoulder. That feels so good. And you can shake it out, do a little shimmy. That feels good. And then from here, we're going to take a twist. I'm going to turn myself around. But you can stay just as you are. So from Dandasana, we'll bring the right foot in, like so. And dorsiflex that foot. And then just bring your left foot. You don't have to wrap it all the way around. You can leave it a little bit longer, still bending at the knee, and pressing into all four corners of that left foot. Take a breath in, grow the spine long, sit up tall. And as you exhale, bring your left fingertips back behind you and your right arm in front of your thigh. Beautiful. Pressing into those left fingertips, wrap your left shoulder blade all the way around and onto your back body and expand broadly through your collarbones. Beautiful. Breathe, sitting up nice and tall. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, return to center. And let's take the other side. Bringing your left heel towards the outer edge of your right hip bone. And your right foot to the mat. Press into all four corners best you can of that foot, pressing into the big toe pad. Take a breath in to sit up tall. And I find that activating my left foot and my left leg really helps. So muscle energy everywhere. Take a breath in, grow the spine long. And as you exhale, take the right fingertips right back behind you. Place them behind your tailbone. Wrap that back shoulder blade around and then take your left arm to wrap in front or extend out in front of your right thigh. Grow long with each breath in. Keep bringing awareness to your front foot, doing your best to press into all four corners of that foot. Lower the shoulders best you can, away from the ears. Two more breath cycles. And on your next breath in, draw the belly in, lift through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, come back to center. And then you can take your hands alongside your body towards the back, and shake out your legs. And from here, you lift up off your blanket and bring your feet out in front of you, like so. Take your hands behind your thighs and use your core to roll down with control as best you're able, arriving on your back on the mat. Make sure all of you is on the mat and knees bent, feet hip-width distance apart. Lift your hips for a moment to lengthen your spine. Take a few breaths to arrive here. Feel that shift of energy as we become supine on the mat. And on your next breath in, cross your right ankle over your left knee or thigh. We'll take thread the needle or figure 4. Take a breath in and find your way into the pose, either with your hand around your shin or your thigh, your left shin or your left thigh. Keep both feet active. Breathe into the stretch. Relax your shoulders, your face. Lengthen the back of your neck. If your chin is popping up, definitely lengthen the back of your neck. Take that stretch deep into the outer hip flexor. Stay with your breath. Breathe into the sensations. Soften your face and your shoulders. And we're going to take this right into a twist. Keep your legs just where they are, best you can. Open your arms out to either side. Good. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, let your legs come to the left. If it's beneficial, helpful for you to place a block under your foot or your knees, please do. And do your best to keep both shoulder blades on the mat, palms to the sky. And if it feels good in your practice, turn and look over towards your right fingertips. Breathe into the stretch, into the sensations. One more breath cycle here. And to come out of the stretch, press your arms into the earth, draw your belly in, and on an inhalation, use the strength of your legs and your core to come back up, and then lower your left foot to the mat, uncross, and both feet are on the mat. Reorganize, regroup, reset, lengthen the spine, both feet on the mat. And on your next inhalation, cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And on your next breath in with both feet active, find your way into the full expression of the pose. Best you're able. Keeping both feet active really helps. If you notice that your chin has lifted towards the sky, lengthen the skin along the back of your neck. Relax your face, relax your shoulders. If your lower back is lifted, do your best to come back into alignment. So when the chin lifts, the lower back tends to lift as well because both curves exist synchronistically with one another. So if your chin is lifting, your lower back is likely arched, and you can lengthen both of those. The back of the neck and the arch in the back, in the lower back. And we'll stay for 2 more breaths. And then coming into the twist, keep the legs best you can, just where they are. Open the arms out to either side. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, send the legs to the right, using yoga props as you're able or as you wish. And turn to look over the left fingertips if that feels good in your practice. Soften your face, soften your shoulders. Enjoy your breath. Know that practice and all is coming. Breathe into the sensations as they arise. One more breath cycle here. And then pressing into your arms, draw the belly in, and with the strength of your core and your legs, lift up, come back to center. Take a breath. And as you exhale, let both feet come to the mat. Notice your chin and the length of your neck. And take a breath in, draw both knees in towards your chest. Relax your shoulders as you hug in, toes to the sky. Lengthen the back of your neck, take another breath in. And as you exhale, extend your right leg long on the mat. Hug that left knee in. Keep both feet flexed. Press out through the big toe pads of both feet. On your next inhalation, draw the right knee back in. Apanasana. Take a breath cycle. And on your next exhalation, send your left leg along on your mat. Press out through the big toe pads of both feet. Breathe into the nice stretch. On your next breath in, draw that left knee in, hug in. If it feels good in your practice, lift your head towards your knees and grow really tiny like a little bug. Roly-poly pose. Two more breath cycles here. And on your next breath out, release everything and find your way into Shavasana. Use blankets or bolsters under your knees if that's helpful. Cover yourself up if that's helpful. Make yourself feel really good, really nurtured and cared for in this final resting pose. You might even enjoy a blanket under your head. Make sure that your shoulder blades are under you, palms are turned towards the sky. Weight is evenly distributed on your sacrum. Spaciousness between both legs. Once you've arrived, take a beautiful, full, deep breath in. And as you exhale, let it go and flow out through the soles of your feet like a wave on the shore. Take 2 or 3 more like that. And begin to sink in, feeling your bones growing heavy, your bones becoming denser and denser, heavier and heavier. Sinking down further and further. Your bones so heavy. And then your muscles. The muscles as they unwrap, losing their form, becoming puddles. As they sink down. Right along with the bones. And the skin. The skin as it melts away from all forms. Dissolving away from the muscles and the bones. melting into the mat. And you feel the breath, the continued flow of the breath, like sweet wings, holding your heart suspended and radiant. Your beautiful heart shining into this new season. Vibrant and glowing, radiant, full of love, full of life, abundant in dreams. A beautiful golden flower blooming within you and shining forth. And begin to feel the flow of the breath. Feeling the lift of the ribs, the chest, and the belly, and the release. Deepening the breath, waking up the body. Begin to feel into the fingertips and the toe tips, wiggling, moving those. And let that expand into circling the wrists and the ankles. And when you feel ready, take a nice deep breath in as you stretch your arms and point your feet in any way that feels good. And then let the breath go. Perhaps taking another one like that. And then slowly bend your knees and roll to your right side. Take a few moments to give this to yourself, enjoying your breath, letting all the nutrients of your practice truly settle in and weave themselves fully into the fabric of your being. And then beginning to orient towards rising up. Bring your hands and your arms to support you as you press up and find your way to your seat on your mat. Once again, bring your hands in front of your heart in a gesture of honoring your own heart. You can bow your head if that feels good to you, with gratitude for your heart, for your practice, and for yourself. As well as gratitude for one another, for the coming of the season, the cycles of life, and for life itself. And this amazing gift of life that we each express. And please join me in sending out some loving kindness to all beings. May all beings be happy and peaceful. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be safe and protected wherever they are. May all beings everywhere, omitting none, live with ease and grace all the days of their lives. And may this be so. Please join me in one Om. We'll simply inhale and begin. Om. And thank you for your practice. So lovely to practice with you. Namaste.